I really need you to make me a promise. Promise me that you will never let someone who refuses to support you take you away from your dreams, from your goals, from your ambitions. We can get stuck in this place where we are surrounded by people who don't see what we see, or maybe they're even intimidated by what we see, or they've been limited by their world for so long they truly don't believe that there's any more out there. And because of that, they do anything and everything that they can to tear you down, to make you think that your dreams aren't possible, to make you think that you just can't do it. But just because they have small thinking, that doesn't mean that you should allow them to infect you with it. If this is your first time hanging out, welcome. My name is Karleigh Saunders. I'm a confidence and abuse recovery coach. I'm here to help you not only heal from the abuse that you endured, but also to build the skill of confidence you can step into the life of independence and freedom that you deserve. I have a family member. I have several family members that fall under this, but specifically one comes to mind. They refuse to be supportive. I am not sure entirely where it comes from, but this is a family member who cares about me. So it could come from a place of trying to keep me safe, trying to keep me grounded, right? And this person, anytime I make the mistake of sharing something that I'm excited about, sharing a goal, or sharing a frustration, talking about anything that is outside of their scope of reference, there's always 1,000,010 reasons why it just won't work, why it just won't happen, why it's just wrong. Now, this family member is someone that I would love to be able to tell things to. This is someone that I care about, right? And I want to tell them my dreams. I want to tell them what lights me up. I want to tell them my progress. But every time I do, I feel deflated. Instead of feeling empowered and excited, I feel broken and let down. And this voice in my head says, see, they think it's dumb. So you should just quit now. Quit before you fall behind. And for a long time, I let people like this hold me back, make me think that I wasn't worthy, make me think that my story wasn't important, make me think that my voice didn't matter, that my dreams didn't matter, and that I should just keep my feet on the ground and my nose to the grindstone because that's the only way. Surviving is the only way. There's no living, it's just surviving. But if I would have stayed that way, I wouldn't be here in front of you right now. Just like our brain protects us from scary things, from new things, just like our brain will put us down to keep us safe, right? Because it's safer for your brain to tell you that you're stupid. It's safer to think that you are stupid than to think that you could possibly be smart enough. It's safer for your brain to think that you just can't do it than it is to risk going out and doing it. Saying, I can't do it, I won't do it, saves you from humiliation. It saves you from failure. But going out and doing the thing, actually living, that's risky. We don't want that. Sometimes people in our life, they may have the best intentions. Because they don't see possibility the way you see possibility, they're going to tell you that it's not possible. Not to be malicious, but to keep you safe. So you don't dream too big. You don't go too far. You don't get hurt. That is something extremely important to keep in mind when it comes to people who are close to you, but who aren't supportive of you. When you begin your recovery journey, you're going to come across a lot of people who don't think it's possible, who don't want to put in the work. They don't believe the way that you believe. And because of that, they're going to knock you down and they're going to take you down a notch. It could be in good intentions, but it could also be with malicious ones because your growth removes their excuses. I lost a lot of friends when I really took my recovery journey seriously. When I started to take responsibility for my healing, that made a lot of people really upset. Your growth, your expansion, your abundance, your healing removes their excuses. Because if they see that you can do it, they go, well, crap, I've been telling myself that I can't for so long, but there's no way. I'm not going to settle for that. I am not going to change my belief that it's not possible, and I'm going to tear them down instead. I'm going to make them prove me right. But the reason I bring up both sides of this is because although they may have good intentions or they may not, they may be malicious or they may not. It may be subconscious or it may be completely conscious. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that you keep going. This is why it is absolutely incredibly important to create a support system for yourself, to have people who are going to lift you up, to surround yourself with people who are going to push you, who are going to say, yeah, that's possible. You can do it. You need to have people who you can go to when your mom tells you that you're never going to make anything of yourself, when your dad tells you that healing isn't possible, when your sister tells you, when your best friend tells you, when there's people that are knocking you down and stunting your growth, you need to have people who are going to lift you up. This isn't something that's nice to have. It's a necessity. And I understand that this can be a lot more difficult than it sounds. It's just so much easier said than done. But your support group, your support system can look however you need it to look. What I mean by that is it doesn't have to be an in-person group. It doesn't have to be, one collective thing. It could be several people. For me, I wanted a community and I also wanted accountability. And I also wanted impact. Those are three things that keep me moving forward on my own journey. Where if I have community of people that are lifting me up, if I have accountability, people that are calling me out and they're not going to let me quit, and three, I'm making impact, I needed those three things in my support system. And so, because I knew that that was going to keep me going. Because for me, it's really hard for me to do things that are strictly for myself. I struggle and start and quit so many different things when it benefits me without impacting others, which is not really possible because when you benefit yourself, you benefit others, but I digress. And so for me, I kind of created a career for myself. I started publicly sharing my recovery journey, and which is what started my Instagram account at Karleigh.Lynn on Instagram. And I just started sharing my story. And I created this community of women around me, of women who get it, of women who knew what I was going through, of women who felt heard. And when I didn't show up after a few days, I had people checking in on me. When I shared something and I was struggling, I had people picking me up. I was receiving messages all the time from them going, oh my gosh, I've been through this. So for me, I needed that. I also needed a friend. And so I've got my best friend in the world. I've got a couple of friends that I met in Facebook groups and online. That's my community. Those are my people. I've got my friendship connection and I've got my community connection. So, and I'm not saying that because yours has to look that way. I'm not like humble bragging when I talk about impact in my, Instagram page in my business. I am trying to let you know that there's a lot more out there than just your stereotypical sit across from table and have a coffee. If that's your thing, please do that. Please reach out and do that. Even if it's like done over Zoom. Some of my best friends are in different countries. I am in the US. And most of the people that I'm really close to are actually over in Europe. I've got two really good friends that live in England and we Zoom regularly just to sit down and have a glass of wine or a cup of coffee. We just talk, we just vent. And that's something that's really nice to have. So is that something that you need? Do you need that one-on-one connection? Do you want a community, a group of people? Maybe there's a Facebook group that you can get really connected in. And look, I get it. Facebook groups are everywhere and everyone seems to have them. And I had lost faith in them myself. But I'm currently in a program that I purchased, in a coaching program that I'm in. I'm in a group with these women and I feel so safe. I feel so heard. And it's the only Facebook group that I check regularly. It's the only Facebook group that I participate in. And I'm in a few different memberships and whatnot, but that's the only one I pay attention to because these women, they're my people. They don't look like me, they don't talk like me, they don't think like me, but they care about me. Those are my people. So don't count out a Facebook group. Find one that has your people in it and it's 100% worth it. Maybe it is an in-person group. Maybe you guys all go to Starbucks and just take over Starbucks for an hour. Maybe it's calling your best friend regularly. Maybe you only need 1 or 2 people. Maybe you need a lot of people. Maybe you need a monthly accountability group. Take out a journal and just brainstorm. Think about what you need. What is going to help you on your journey? What is going to help you when you have those voices that are telling you that you shouldn't do it, that you can't do it? When you have people that you care about more than anything in the world telling you that you can't, that you shouldn't, that it's not possible, that you're not good enough, what do you need in that moment? Also think about the type of communication you need. For me, I need someone who is super understanding. I don't want anyone to be disrespectful towards me or my circumstances or acting like what I'm going through isn't a lot. But I also need someone who's going to kick my butt a little bit. I need to be reminded. I need that tough love. And so for me, I knew I needed that. And I needed that within my community. And I have that in a few different places throughout my community and my support system. What's your communication style? What do you need? I actually have a podcast where I talked a lot about what's your communication style. I'll make sure I put that in the show description because when you're building up this community, that's really important. Because a lot of the times we are going to our family because we want to. And here's the thing. There is nothing wrong with wanting these people to be proud of you. There's nothing wrong with wanting them to see things your way. But there is everything wrong with staking your value and your worth in that. And when you're hearing that from people that you care about, it's really hard to remember how worthy you are, which is why you have a support system. So again, just brain dump. Listen to that podcast episode while you're brain dumping if that helps you. Think about what type of communication style you need. Think about the type of people that you want there for you. And Google it, right? After you brain dump it, Google it. Go on Google and see what comes up. Just maybe there are some support groups in your area. Maybe there are some specific dedicated groups that meet on Zoom. Go to Facebook and look. There are there's a lot of narcissistic abuse recovery groups. There's a lot of emotional, like if you want something super specific, like if you want something that specifically caters to a type of abuse that you went through, those things exist. But you've got to figure out what you want first if you're going to get anything out of the group. Something that I did is I would mass join groups, be like, yes, now is the time. I've got my support group. And there were so many of them, and there was so much going on, and they were so big that I didn't get anything out of them. So make sure you get clear on what you want, get clear on what you need, and then go search for them. Pick a 1 or 2, maybe 3 different outlets, and then check in with them. Create a plan, even if it's with yourself. Post daily in there, just to check in. Comment somewhere. Maybe it is posting on Instagram. Whatever you need. Whatever you need to do, do it. But don't let these people derail you from your dreams. For a really long time, I did not even try to recover from the abuse that I went through because I believed that it was just life. I thought life had to be this way. I thought life just existed like this. I thought it was normal. And so when I did make the choice to recover, it was incredibly difficult for me because I was fighting against the narrative that I was surrounded with, that I grew up with, that was drilled into me. I am thankful that I am here now, but I don't want you to go through that same thing. I don't want you to spend a year, years, a decade, your whole life chasing someone's approval who just refuses to support you. Because boo, you deserve so much more. And if you're struggling with this and you are really wanting a support group, but you really don't know where to start or what you really need, comment below. I am here to help you. I'm here to reach out. And then maybe other people respond to that comment and you can create one here. Or you can send me a DM over on Instagram at karleigh.lynn. I am more than happy to answer any questions and to point you in the direction of any resources that I have that may help. And once again, please do not hesitate to reach out. Comment below, send me a DM over on Instagram, and please make sure you check the show description for the links to the podcast and for a lot of other resources there as well. Thanks for hanging out, boo. And never forget that you are strong, you are capable, you are intelligent, and you are so freaking worthy.